Well, the holidays offer a chance for families to come together and enjoy the season, but this time of year can also bring feelings like sadness, stress, and grief. If we're not careful, those issues can be passed on to our kids. Jenny Suniga sat down with a child psychologist to talk about how parents can avoid that this holiday season.
Good morning. I'm here with Joshua Essery from the Clarity Child Guidance Center. He's here to talk about how family conflict can affect children. All right, good morning and thanks for joining us. Okay, first up, when the holidays bring together, we get together with a whole bunch of people, our family, not everyone's getting along. Right. How does this affect children?
Well, the important thing to realize is that children feel what is not spoken. And so if there are any things like grudges or unresolved family conflict or any kind of resentment being held on to, kids tend to feel that and experience that. Oftentimes kids are pulled to do things like feel that they need to take sides or that they need to fix family problems, and obviously this can create kind of undue burden and anxiety and kind of take away the joy from kids during this holiday season.
Well, what can parents do to relieve that stress or that burden?
Sure. Well, some things are to be aware of the conflicts that are there and not just simply push them down or not talk about them. To be really clear about where the tensions are held within families and to communicate openly about those and to strategize and plan so that kids aren't exposed unduly to the conflicts.
Yeah, I think a lot of families tend to want to keep things in, don't talk about it. So should there be a conversation before they get together?
Well, in general, I think the important thing to realize is the family conflicts that are there need to be kind of identified, and so before you're able to have a conversation, you need to be able to identify what conflicts are there. And so this can often happen within, for example, co-parenting situations or where there are blended families, or where there's family conflicts where there's issues with time, who's going to spend time with who, when, that type of thing. And so the conversations often need to be focused on addressing where the kid will be at what time so that kids can feel free to be with whatever side of the family that they're supposed to be with without kind of guilt or shame or fear, that type of thing.
And that's what I was going to talk about, divorced family, blended families. What are some things besides that they need to consider?
Yeah, well, again, like I said, that kids need to feel free to love both families and to be with both families. And co-parents or people that are in kind of blended family situations need to be aware if there are any kind of dynamics that they're communicating to the kids that it's not okay for them to go with the other side of the family or that they need to be loyal to them for some reason. And so again, this goes back to things like not trying to settle old scores around holiday visits or holiday times, communicating really directly with the other parent or family and being willing to share time as well as listen to the kids' needs and what the kid desires.
Well, kids are watching everything, they're looking at their parents, even parents don't realize it, but if they notice that their parents depressed, maybe not ready to deal with the divorce just yet.
Down a little bit,
yeah, and they feel that burden to cheer their parent up. What should they do?
Well, the important thing I think as parents that we need to be aware of is that our kids are very sensitive to our feelings, even if we're not speaking them or letting them be known in some direct way. And it's often true that if there's some problem that a kid perceives, they want to try to fix it or they want to try to help. And that's no different when parents are experiencing strong emotions. And so oftentimes if a parent remains sad or has some degree of lack of joy over the holidays, kids can even feel like it's their fault. And so the important thing as a parent is that we take care of our own feelings so that our kids don't have to. And this could be things like reflecting on really what the holiday season means and what the overall meaning of that is that we want to pass along to our kids, to focus on the positive things over the past year and also our hopes for the future. Those would be some really important things, as well as things like self-compassion.
Okay, and one real last quick question. A lot of people are dealing with the loss of a loved one. How do you deal with that in terms of your children?
Yeah, the holidays can really bring up memories from our childhood and memories of people who have kind of gone before us. And we can be sensitive to ways that maybe they're not there anymore, they're not a part of our traditions. And so some important things are to not push those feelings down and act like they don't exist or overly dwell on them and kind of stay in the sadness that can come with that. But rather what I would recommend is really integrate people's memories into your holiday traditions and activities and talk openly about those memories so that they don't have to be something that's not talked about and at the same time they don't just simply get dwelled on.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We've run out of time. I know you guys have a whole lot of issues that you can deal with and help parents with. If someone needs some information, a website.
Sure. ClarityCGC.org would be a good resource.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.